Hi, this is Chid, founder of Fieldbook Labs and creator of Fieldbook. And today I'm in this beautiful Marrie woodland in the bush in a park near my house. And I'm going to show you how to go from this to this and create a NVIS compliant vegetation description with just a few clicks. This is a screen recording of using the Fieldbook app to record a survey site and some species observations. I'm going to record a quadrat, entering the quadrat name, and then I'll record the location. This is a polygon, so I'm selecting some points. It's a bit messy. Now, the other data fields. And then a couple of photos. Okay, now that we have our site, I'll start to record some observations. So firstly, a species observation. I'm going to record the Marrie. Okay, so now I'm going to enter the data fields for the Marrie. There are these three critical data fields that we have to record to be able to derive a vegetation description. The density in percentage of cover, the NVIS growth form, and the height must be in meters. So these are the critical fields that you have to record with every observation to use that observation in an NVIS vegetation description. Okay, now we have the JARA. I'll use the 3-letter code to look that up. And then those three critical data fields again. All right, the last species observation that we'll record will be Xantheria, which we'll call Xantheria pricei, although there is some controversy about that. And this time we'll use the grass tree NVIS growth form. Okay, so finally, we've recorded a few species. This time we'll record a specimen collection. Obviously, I'm not really collecting anything because I don't have a license for that, but I'll show you what that looks like. So entering a collection number, and then a field name for the specimen. I don't really know if it's Advisia, but we'll see. So again, the critical 3 data fields, and then I'll take a photo as well. Jupiter does a little cameo. Okay, so I'll stop the screen recording there, but I'll keep recording a few more observations in the app so we can build up our vegetation description a bit more. So now I've recorded a few observations and I'm going to generate the vegetation description. Okay, so now I've completed my flora survey and I'm ready to generate a vegetation description. So here's the view of the site details, photos, some metadata, and a list of observations, which will be in here, and then the button to generate the vegetation description. using the Smart NVIS Vegetation Description Generator. So we're going to open up our observations and have a quick look at those. So we recorded a few more after my previous recording. So there's 3 that were recorded as collections with no species name, and then there's a few that were recorded associated with a species name. And you'll note that each one of them has these important 3 fields: the height in meters, density cover in percentage, and the NVIS growth form. Okay, so now we're ready to generate the description, and I'll click that button. And immediately we see this interface, which has the preview of the generated description. So it's a mid-open forest Corymbia calophylla over mid-open shrubland of Xanthria pricei, and those other things, the Divisia and the Eucalyptus, over the low sparse shrubland of the Herbaceae that we collected with tussock grasses and forbs. So that is a pretty good description of that vegetation, I think. But in many cases, you might need to adjust because Fieldbook has made some decisions based on a statistical analysis of the heights and densities of the observations you've recorded. But it won't always be correct or exactly how you want to do it. And so you can adjust them in these editors for the strata. So each of the 3 strata have an editor, and you can open it up here. And here we see the list of species that are the dominant ones in the stratum. You can remove one of those species and add new ones. And this list will be composed of the species that you observed in the site. And then further down, we have some settings for the stratum itself. So the overall cover, which Fieldbook has inferred from the observations, but won't always get it exactly right, and the height. So I think this is pretty good overall, and I'm going to save it. And now that it's saved, we can choose between verbose and compact forms. So currently this is verbose, which means that it's written in plain English and it's easy to understand. There's also the compact notation, which is a special NVIS method of describing a vegetation type using this technical notation. You can choose between those, and now that it's saved, that data will be available in every view of this site, on the website and the app, and in any data that you export. And it will also be remain live to any changes that are made to the species in the list. So I'm going to demonstrate how that works, because it's important that when you record these vegetation descriptions in the field, before you've identified all of your observations, all of your species, that once you do identify them, they will become, the description will be updated with the new name. So I'm going to show you how that works with this one. So we have this one, SAM1.03 Hib, so that was a Herbaceae that we collected a specimen of. And I'm going to find that record. Here it is. Open that up, and we can see this button, Add Determination. So because this is a record of a specimen that was collected, we can then determine the identification of the species once we have looked at it in the herbarium. So this one I think is Herbaceae commutata, so I'm going to search for that. There it is, and we can save that. Now the specimen has been updated with that species name, and we'll go back to the site. And immediately in the vegetation description, we can see that the name of that species in the list is no longer being referred to as its collection reference with the collection number and field name. It's now being referred to with the taxon name that we've just selected. And so that's how the NVIS vegetation descriptions will continue to react when you make changes to your species list. Now, something that's important to understand is that this feature, the ability to generate the NVIS vegetation descriptions, isn't relying on AI or any other online service. It's based on your device and it works offline. So that means wherever you are, as long as you've recorded the species list, you can hit that button and it will generate the description. You can make changes to it and save it. And that will work regardless of whether you have network connection. So thanks for watching this first Fieldbook deep dive, and stay tuned for more as we further develop exciting new features.